1 second passes, it's been 5 days and you robbed a store.
That's...
Got a tattoo. You think that doesn't happen on meth?
Hold on. That's... Number one, that's extreme.
It is.
That's... You took an extreme position right there.
Okay.
That was like a little...
I feel like
that was you're like...
Dude,
he smoked some meth. 5 days later, you're robbing a store, faced that. Come on. That is not... I mean...
I'm sure that's happened
but that
a lot.
same person would do cocaine and do the same thing. Or, like, whatever else. That's not going to stop that person from doing it.
But maybe...
But we also agreed earlier, it's like, how far... I mean, I can't really know, because I don't know the full effects of, like, crystal meth. Like, I've never done it enough personally to know what, like, a full effect of crystal meth is. So, I've done an Adderall, and I'm willing to bet they're not far off. But there's people that do Adderall that are extremely wealthy. I mean, Joe Rogan talks about his, like, close friends that he knows that, like, do Adderall. And these people around Joe Rogan
scientists at MIT doing equations.
Yes, I think there are those.
Stay up. No, of course there are.
100%. And I think there's junkies that do it every day, too, that are probably scientists. I don't think, like, the fact that people do drugs means you're a dumb person. I think the people that, like, get caught and, like, are fucking... The ones that you see that are, like, the bad image of, like, meth use or whatever, are, like... Those are people that, like, were probably mostly mentally unstable in some other way or had, like, some traumatic experience they went through that gonna cause them to go down that road to begin with. Because, like, the other day I was watching that Soft White Underbelly, that other channel that I got put you on, too. And it was this guy, he was, like, a Mexican dude that, like, was older guy, not older, he was, like, probably in his 40s, but he's, like, he's been doing meth since he was, like, 20. Did not look like he'd been doing meth. I mean, he had, like, a gang tattoo, like, on his, like, little kind of, but other than that, he was, like, clean cut. He's like, I do meth every day, I smoke it. I think it's, like, the difference is, like, some people are able to handle their shit, they're, like, they still take care of themselves. Some people do meth, and then they don't take care of themselves, they pick at their skin. But some people do meth and, like, and can shower and live in a normal house. And then they look normal, and they can do years and years, and they don't look like the pictures of people on meth.
Yeah, like faces of meth.
It's not the same. You look at that guy, and I'm like, no, you wouldn't even be able to know he was on meth. He looks clean cut, his teeth are there, he just knows how to take care of himself, and there's that certain amount of mental health people that are not going to just in general, they're not going to take care of themselves. It doesn't matter whether it's meth. They could do that same thing off of weed to themselves if that was all they could get.
What do you think?
Those same people would do that to themselves off of weed or alcohol or whatever if that was the only thing that they could.
I got another kind of topic. So you're kind of leaning towards all drugs should be decriminalized / maybe even legal.
Maybe even distributed by the government.
Okay, distributed by the government.
That's my extreme position, but yeah.
So, what if some drugs, they have to, just after they start it, things start going wrong? Like, what about designer drugs, smoke shop drugs, synthetic drugs? I mean, you hear that story of...
Health hazardous.
Yeah, toxic.
That's what you're saying.
But the thing is, methamphetamine is toxic. It is definitely toxic for your body. But there, you hear the story of
my gut wants me to lean into, like, the strong, like, libertarian side and say, if you want to kill yourself, you should be free to.
Okay, but what about those people? I mean, I heard this story in Florida. There was some people who bought synthetic heroin at a gas station, and they smoked it, and the next day they woke up with, like, end-stage Parkinson's, and they died from it. But, I mean... The thing is, at that point, you're going to just tell the people who buy it at a smoke shop or a gas station, like, you might die, you might not. We're going to try to make it healthy if we can, but it's your choice to live or die. I mean, that's kind of sketchy. How many bath salt attacks would it take to
this is the thing. If they were willing, I wouldn't mind. Legalize it all. If they're willing to give that kind of warning. The problem is that people are not going to follow that rule of giving that kind of warning.
Oh, I don't think so. I think synthetic drugs should be...
There's going to just be that fucking...
Miami
asshole.
face zombie.
There's going to be that asshole that just wants to make money. that's just selling it and not giving a fuck about nobody. But I mean, I truly believe karma is a thing. So life works in very mysterious ways.
Yeah, but a couple of your family members die. You're not gonna be like, oh well, karma. You're gonna be like, dude, why was he able to buy that at the gas station? He just fucking bit somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would think I think there would be some regulatory. That's the thing. I think it should be government. If we're gonna just sell drugs like that, it needs to be government distributed. If the drugs are gonna be sold anyways, why not eliminate it? I'm not a big government guy, but when I guess to me it makes almost more sense when it comes. It's like you need to legalize all drugs because then it takes the power away from the other guys to do it, and that way you can get an actual regulated system of like we know what you're getting.
Yeah, but you act like doing drugs is a victimless crime. A lot of
it kind of is.
But a lot of people are victims of drugs.
Explain.
Your mom gets addicted to crack and she puts Pepsi in your baby bottle. Fucking, your white wine zombie mom, 3 pills a day, and you fucking crash drunk driving your kid to preschool. I mean, drugs. Your stepdad.
Well, that's the thing. You're not
gonna.
But you're not gonna. That's the thing. That's where you're missing out, though. Is that you're not gonna stop these things from happening to begin with. Now, in my idea, it would still be illegal to drive while doing fucking heroin. It's not gonna just be illegal to drive doing heroin because I say drugs are legal. It's not going to be okay to just drive under the influence. And it'll still be child endangerment if your kid's in the car too. You know what I mean? The laws aren't just going to the only laws that are changed is that you're not going to, if you have heroin on you while you're walking on the street, you're not going to get in trouble.
I mean,
if you have heroin in your fucking locked thing in your house, your locked cabinet, you're not going to get in trouble in your house.
Okay, that's what I think I'm seeing what you're saying. All the other laws are still in place, but just you're not going to get punished for just the fact that you have drugs.
Yeah, I would. Now, what's going to be said is if you're going to use drugs, I think everybody needs to use them at home, just like, public fucking whatever.
So, I mean, of course, like homeless people, but yeah, in their little dwelling.
Yeah. So the laws aren't changing. I don't think, and you're still kind of putting in that misconception that it's like, in your head, more people are just going to start doing that. But that's not necessarily true.
But are you willing to admit that that's a strong possibility?
It's a possibility. I don't know how strong. In my idea, it's stronger. What I think is what I think.
I mean, do you think they're going to be like, drugs are illegal now, let's stop?
I think the same amount of people that do heroin is going to do heroin. I don't think that amount is going to change.
So the ultimate goal is mercy for the people suffering from drug addiction?
For me, the whole ultimate goal is to act as if it's not wrong to do drugs.
To take away the stigma of
it. It's not wrong to do drugs. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, though? What do you think, in general? Do you think, have I at least opened your eyes a little bit on the idea of that? And that there's a possibility that maybe there's some path. I think that in general, you said what's the goal? The full goal in general of the whole thing. I think most of the goal was to destigmatize it so that in a way that it's not wrong to use drugs. It should be the same. Using heroin should be the same as having a few beers on the weekends with your friends, if you want to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if you become an alcoholic, it will still be the same thing as if you become. I think it should looked at. I think addiction is addiction is addiction. I think you should look at it the same as if you're an alcoholic, as if you're a heroin addict, as if you're a meth addict, as if you're a fucking weed addict. Even if it's destroying your life, it's destroying your life. There's no way around that. If you're like, and I don't think. It's like, at what point are these things destroying your lives? It's like when it's not are you blaming the drug for destroying your life, or like your own habits and like tendencies to decide to make these things bad habits? Because other people can do them and it cannot be a bad habit and a way for them to relieve stress.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things to look at. The thing about it is just when you talk to people, I feel like you would have to be a pretty open-minded person to hear you out because it does go to the extreme, and I think the reason that you phrase it that way is, for to get your point across that, you know, drugs shouldn't be legal. But realistically, I think if we were to try anything you were saying, it should be in increments. Like try it with just marijuana. Try
of
it
course, of course.
thinking. But I mean, all in all, in principle, I mean, it would be like we were saying earlier. It would be cool if a really small, like, percentage of a test sample tried it, like, a village in Nova Scotia or something like that to start with. America's just
like a state.
Yeah, state. I feel like Florida would be that state if I had to guess.
California.
Really?
For extreme stuff like that, we're gonna go. They're gonna take my. It's just too far. I mean, and that's what I hate. Is just like, so I'm gonna get. I hate that. That's the thing. It's like I'll get labeled as like probably some. If I were to ever catch any traction, I would get labeled as like some far right guy. But in reality, that's like that idea that I have that I truly believe in. One of my strongest like ideas I feel like that I have is so like would be considered so far left.
I think if anyone heard your idea, they would assume that you were super far left, and because nothing that you've said, you know, indicates that, for separate situations, you do believe in, some right wing, policies. But it's good to have a mix, because this seems about as, as liberal as you could get to decriminalize drugs.
I want to go farther than that.
To make them legal.
I want the government to distribute
them.
I want the government to distribute the drugs. Yeah.
make. Don't you want the open market to competition and lower prices? Because if it's gonna be. If it's going to be for the government, it's going to be
fair
like
enough.
in the cell phone in Russia.
No, you're right, 100%. I want them to do that, but I just will have to have heavy regulations on like
kind of like how China
on safety thing like FDA.
Like China has a limited open market, but the government still.
You're right, because then we're gonna get some fire, fucking real good drugs.
Yeah, they're just like competing mascots for some crystal.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know because I've never been to Mexico, but isn't Mexico kind of like you can buy whatever you want already too?
I've heard that you can just go into a pharmacy and just ask to buy the medicine that's prescribed.
Probably not.
I don't know. I've seen it done. It might be one of those situations where you just gotta be in the know.
You gotta be like they gotta know who you are.
Yeah, like my grandpa, he's 89 years old. He's from Mexico. He's a citizen. He speaks the language.
It's just real loosely like fucking watched and managed.
I remember I went to Costa Rica though, and I tried it, and I went to like it's kind of like a Walmart grocery store or something, but it's like a generic Costa Rica one, and I went to the lady and I was like, yes, I forgot my prescription. Could you get me a bottle of Xanax? So what I did was I wrote it on a piece of paper and I went to their pharmacy. I mean, Costa Rica's pretty wealthy. It just looked American, like, just an average store. Yeah, absolutely. There's weird things, like the writing was different and they had milk in bags and weird stuff. But no, it looked like a regular store, and I went up to the counter and I asked the lady if she could fill me a prescription for Xanax, and she was like, yeah, sure, let me just, because I think it was called something else, and because she was, Costa Rican, she spoke Spanish. But she came back and she was like, I cannot give you a prescription for Xanax. That is very illegal. And I was like, oh, oops. Because I thought it was like Mexico.
Hey, you have balls for trying though. That's legit, at least. Hey, fuck it, because what if they did?
I really thought they were.
Been like, God damn it, I'm coming back. yeah. And she was like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, I was kind of scared that she was gonna like call the security on me or something.
You'll go to fucking Costa Rican jail.
That would not be good.
I'm sure that the part of Costa Rica you were in looked like America.
It was San Jose or whatever, the capital.
Yeah, so the capital was probably like really nice.
It was it was pretty. It was
parts?
it was like a third world country ish. Just some pieces are really like, I don't know. It was like the heart of a South
so some
American
pieces
place.
pieces look like America.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like far outside of the.
Well, that's what I want to do. I really want to do like videoing like those guys on the YouTube. They go to like different countries and third world countries and just go around fucking like the regular area.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I love that. I want to experience the cultures. But that was pretty good, I think. Thanks for coming on, Eddie.
Yeah, no problem. I guess we'll wrap it up there.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, guys.